Hey weirdos, welcome back. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How are you guys doing today? I'm doing amazing. Tomicca was so kind. I know I haven't done a Tomicca video in so long. They sent over a bunch of these gorgeous, they're like pastel-y type, very springtime colors. And I got them all swatched out. I'm going to leave all the info down in the box for you guys. You're not going to see my whole dip routine today. What you are going to see is my whole filing routine. And we're going to talk through it a little bit. I do want to chat about some other stuff that you guys will probably find amusing. But I know a lot of you really wanted to see an updated in-depth filing video. So that's what we're going to get into today. I'm going to tell you why I do what I do, why I don't do certain things, and what's been working for me more recently. I've been trying to expand my horizons a little bit. I feel like I've been doing the same thing over and over again. And while it works, I'm always into like, what can I do better? If you're wondering what's on my right hand, this is just Revel Blink. It's a glow, and I did some stamping over it, and that's it. I didn't film it. It was just a mani I did for me. But if you would like to see how I do it, I might leave a stamping video up in the cards for you guys. It's literally nothing crazy, just basic dip application and a stamp over top, and that's it. But I kind of like the way it looks. It reminds me of like lace almost, and I loved the glow look. So that's what we're going to get into today. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Today I'm only going to show you how I did the dip application on one finger and keeping dip very, very short today. If you want a beginner friendly dip powder, I'm going to air quote this tutorial, I'll leave a video up in the cards for you. But I'm just going to get dip on so you can see very briefly my process. It is the same process that I always use for my dip powder nails. And then we're going to get into some filing. While I'm getting the dip on my nails, I know if you guys saw my single awareness mani, I think it was right around Valentine's Day. I'll leave it in the cards for you guys in case you missed it. But I did ask the masses if anyone knew of like psychic or tarot or the witch talk. If you guys are on TikTok, you know what I'm talking about. Type people. I was interested in doing like a reading of some sort, and I wanted to give you guys an update on that. I was put into contact with an outstanding woman who did a tarot reading for me. And while I'm not going to go into too much detail, it wound up not even being like a love reading, which is kind of what I was going for, but I was more concerned about career type stuff or what direction I was going with school and all of that. But I did get an outstanding reading. She was fabulous. It wasn't really to tell me what to do or to guide me in a direction, but more so it really verified things that I was thinking and feeling. So I knew I was headed down the right path. And speaking of which, wanted to mention to you guys, if you saw my Facebook Live when I did the launch for the new collection with Shimmer and Shine, if you're not in the Facebook group, hop on over. We have a bunch of fun in there, and I will be doing more lives over there. So I'll leave that in the box for you guys. But if you were at my live and you heard me mention the job opportunity I had with my internship, I did decline the position. It was such a hard decision. I'm going to tell you a good story here in a little bit about why I did what I did, but I did decline the position. I'm going to finish up my internship, and then I'm going to take the summer off, and hopefully I will start my master's program in the fall, which is what I really wanted to do anyway. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to, right now, I'm just going to do my clear cap on this nail as per usual. You don't have to do a clear cap if you don't want to. I like to. Protects the color, also adds strength to my nail, so that's why I'm doing clear cap. I'm using my glitzy liquids. They are not available still. I'm sorry. I know I keep teasing you with the liquids, but I just like them so much. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up this. I'm going to activate, and then we're going to get into filing, and I'm going to have a story time. I'm going to tell you why. You guys are going to think I'm insane. But I'm going to tell you what helped me make the very difficult choice to decline the wonderful position I was offered within my internship. It started at SeaWorld, which is super weird. I mentioned this in my live as well, that I was taking my kids to SeaWorld. We went last week rather. We were all on spring break, and the kiddos wanted to do something, but I didn't really want to travel, so we did go to SeaWorld. I'm going to tell you that story. First, here's my whole hand completed. I did let it dry for a few minutes, and now we're ready to file. So you have the option when you're, doing any kind of acrylic or builder gel type nails to use an e-file, a hand file. I'm going to show you both today. I'm starting in with a 100-180 grit file. This is the 100 grit side, which I like for shaping. I'm going to clean up my shape, and that just means cleaning up my sidewalls, cleaning up my free edge, because I like a very strong square nail when my nails are short like this. Of course, this is going to vary depending on the shape you like your nails to be. I did have a request recently, or I've had many actually, but more recently, to do shaping different shapes. So I may have to bust out my fake hand for that. Angelina Jolie might finally make her debut. I've been meaning to do this for so long, seemingly forever. So comment down below if you would like to see how to shape very different shapes. What? You know what I mean? Square, coffin, round, almond, stiletto. I don't even know if I'm capable of this, but you can watch me give it a go. Okay, so now that I've got my shape done, now I'm going to go in for the cuticle area. I want to say two things about, contouring your cuticle area. Number one, you got to be careful with your dip application. I find how you apply your dip is kind of key as to how much filing you're going to do later. So the more clean and precise your application is, the less filing you'll have to do. But here's what I do. I go in and I go in between. I always leave a little margin between my dip and my cuticle area, my skin. So I'm going to go in between that little margin and round out that cuticle area. You can use whatever kind of file you're comfy with. You don't have to use a big file like this. If you want to use a glass file or a skinny metal file, that's going to be very gentle on your cuticle. You are absolutely welcome to do that. I just happen to have this file in my hand, so that's what I'm going to use. Now, as you can see, it's not perfect. It's not even close to being perfect, but I'm going to take care of that in a little bit with my e-file. So once I have my shape and my cuticles situated, now I want to blend everything together so there are no harsh edges or lines anywhere. So I'm taking my 180 grit side, and as you can see, I'm angling my file. I guess it's about a 45-degree angle, and this is going to taper down the back half of my nail so the cuticle is not bulky. I find that when the cuticle area is very bulky with dip powder, it can lead to lifting. If you've ever run your fingers through your hair and had a hair get stuck under your product, that's usually the culprit. It's usually a bulky cuticle area. So we're going to prevent some lifting, make everything grow out naturally by debulking that cuticle area. I also contour in the sidewalls a little bit to give it now that nice curve. And as you can see, it tapers in the cuticle, comes up towards the apex, and tapers back down towards the free edge. And that's going to give you strength to your nail as well as aesthetics. So I'm just going to refine that, get everything nice and smooth. If you're doing gel polish top coat, you would stop after filing. You can buff. I buff. I'm guilty. You shouldn't do as I say and not as I do. You gotta remember, I don't keep nails on for very long, so I don't mind my gel top coat peeling. It usually doesn't get that far because I take my nails off in like 3 or 4 days. But if you're going for a longevity, you may want to skip buffing. And I'll talk about that when we get closer to the buffing stage of filing. So now I'm again taking my 180 grit side, and I'm going to just make sure my shape is perfect. This is a smoothing side. It's not so much going to take away product, so I'm just making sure everything is clean and sharp and smooth. Sharp and smooth. That are those contradicting terms? Probably. Now, I do de-dust every so often just so I can see exactly what I need to do, if there's any more filing I have to do. Typically, this doesn't take me very long. You got to remember I'm doing this on camera, and it's difficult to file and maintain your position in frame and not have your hands in your face, because typically that's what I do. If I'm filing my nails and I'm not filming, which is rare, my hands are literally in my face. So is this taking me a little bit longer? It shouldn't take you very long. But again, that also, like I said, depends on your application. So now that I've gotten everything the way I like it as far as contour and shape, I'm going to go in with my buffing block, and I'm going to use the same kind of angle as I did when I did my filing. I'm going to put it at a 45-degree angle going into my cuticle area, and that's going to smooth out the cuticle. We're going to smooth out the sides, smooth out the entire surface, and this is going to be key if you're doing dip powder top coat. You want that nail as smooth as possible for dip powder top coat. You can skip that step, as I mentioned earlier, if you're doing gel. I still like to do it because I like a very smooth nail. you just have to make sure you put on primer before you put on your gel top coat later. So here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to show you what I do when I e-file my nails. And the only thing I really use my e-file for these days is cuticle cleanup. As you can see, I'm using the same technique sort of that I was using when I was doing my hand filing. I'm just going in between my skin and the product, and I'm going to refine that cuticle line. Now I'm using my Melody Susie 2-in-1 dust collector e-file thingamajig. I'll leave it in the box for you guys. And this bit comes with the drill. It's the diamond barrel bit. I think there are usually two that come with the e-files. There's a fat one and like a skinny one. You can use either one. I don't really have a preference. Whatever I grab is the one that I use. They work equally the same for me. And I'm going to go ahead and do that on all 5 nails. I'm going to get the rest of my nails filed up. While I do that, I'm going to tell you what happened at SeaWorld, because it's a cute story. You guys might think I'm insane, but you know what? I don't care. I am who I am. So I'm at SeaWorld, and mind you, I had my second interview with my internship for the job on Wednesday, and nope, that's a lie. Yeah, on Wednesday. And then I was going to SeaWorld with my kids on Thursday, coming home Friday, etc., etc. So I have my interview. I have a lot to think about because I don't know what I want to do. I really wanted to pursue my master's, but this was a great opportunity, and I was kind of torn. So one of my cats is knocking stuff over in my bathroom. Cat. Anyway, so we go to SeaWorld, and I'm having a great time. Like, I'm having a blast with the kids. Everything is fine. Everything's great. But it's weighing heavily on my heart and on my mind. And I'm like thinking the entire time, just someone send me a sign. The universe needs to send me a sign and tell me what I need to do, because I don't know what to do. So I'm standing in line for a ride with all 3 of my kids, and there's distraction, everywhere. It's like, you ever have that feeling like the world is moving so fast, but it seems to be going at slow motion at the same time? That's kind of where my head was in that moment. And I look ahead of me, and there's a woman standing in front of us in line, and she's wearing like a tank top, and her hair is in dreads. I will never forget what the back of this woman looked like. And I noticed on the back of her arm, she has a tattoo. She had a bunch of tattoos, but this one I saw specifically. And it was very simple writing, no crazy design, no crazy lettering. And all it said was, "Love the unlovable." And it almost made my heart stop in that moment. And I'm like, oh my God. Now I'll tell you what the significance of that is to me. So when I started my bachelor's program, and I'm in my bachelor's for behavioral science and human services, I've always wanted to work with violent offenders, the unlovable, if you will. And the reason for that is I feel like working with the offenders will give better insight into prevention and rehabilitation, which is my ultimate end goal. It's one thing to work with survivors and victims, but I feel like that's a band-aid for a bullet hole. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're helping after the fact. How about prevent it before it happens? So that's always been my end goal. And when I saw this woman with that tattoo, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna love the unlovable. So I decided to do what I want, pursue my master's in forensic psychology. So hopefully I get accepted to a good school and I can actually make that happen and not make the biggest mistake of my life. I'm optimistic though. I have a pretty good GPA. I'm sure I'll have recommendations, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm hoping I don't have to relocate for this, because I don't really live near any good schools with that kind of master's program, but we shall see. Curious to know if you guys have thoughts about that, or if you've ever felt like you were in a position where you had a choice to make and didn't know which way to go, and how it worked out for you in the end. I need a confidence boost. Tell me I'm doing the right thing. I'm going to let you guys watch me finish up my filing. I'm doing the same thing on all of my nails, and then I'm going to get into top coat. This color, by the way, in case you haven't gathered, this is like my color. This baby blue, this super soft, super like light sky baby blue, so my cup of tea. It almost looks white on the nail, but it definitely has the blue hue to it, and I absolutely loved it. And I figured it'd be perfect to show you how I do my filing, because I feel like colors like this, you can see everything. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like white in that sense, where you can just see every little dimple, every dip, every whatever on the nail. So I'm like, I'm gonna do a light color. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna let you guys keep watching. I'll come back in just a little bit and we'll get into top coat and we're gonna finish up. And if you have filing questions, definitely leave them in the comments. Or if you feel like you have a question that requires a lot of detail and maybe a detailed answer, don't forget I have my Instagram handle and my email address in the description box. So don't hesitate, reach out. I love hearing from you guys. I don't even care if you want to email me and say, hey, how you doing? I'll reply, we'll chat. Yeah, so I'll be back with you guys in just a bit. Buffing, and I'm going to show you the side view of my nails so you can see that curve that I'm talking about. See how it tapers down towards the cuticle and then back down towards the free edge? It's got that nice curve, that nice apex. Yes, it's pretty. Yes, it looks very nice. It makes your nails look very nice and slim and even, but it also will provide strength that prevents against, or it helps at least prevent against breakage. So I'm going to go in with my Young Nails Swipe Solution. This is a dehydrator, essentially a combination of acetone and alcohol. I'm using that to de-dust my nails. You do not need to do this step. I like to. You can get up and wash your hands, you know, whatever. I'm lazy and I don't like getting up when I'm doing my nails because I will get distracted and wind up doing the dishes. So now that I've gotten that done, I'm going to go ahead and prime my nails and apply my top coat. Am I lying to you? Nope, I'm not. I did prime. I never know if I forget to prime or not. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. If you're using a gel top coat, you do want to prime your nails first. That will prevent or help prevent your top coat from chipping or peeling off, which I know is super frustrating. If you are using dip powder top coat, you don't need to use a primer. In fact, please don't use a primer. The chemical reaction between primer and your dip liquids, your dip base and your dip top, not good. You will ruin your dip liquids. So no primer for you. But if you're using your dip top coat system, you would want to use activator. After you've de-dusted your nails, let that sit, wipe it off with a dry paper towel, and then go in with your dip top coat, 2 coats. So I'm going to let this, what? I'm going to get this. Wow, Marla. I'm going to get this on my nails. This is the Young Nails Ultimate Top Gel. I love this gel top coat so much with my whole entire heart. I am sad that it has HEMA in it. So I don't know how you guys feel about that. I know that I have been pushing back my HEMA-free gel video. I haven't filmed it yet. I do have all of the products for it though, so I will be filming that soon. I don't know when it's going to be up. If I had to guess, I would say sometime end of April, beginning of May, possibly, but it is coming, I promise. Do you guys suffer with gel allergies? I know a lot of people have. I've seen it a lot in the recent past, but if that's you, let me know. I'm curious. You don't have to. There's no like HIPAA regulation about letting me know if you're allergic to gel, but if you want to, I'm open to listen to it. So here's what my finished nails look like with my whole filing and buffing routine. If you guys do something different, let me know down below, because I'm always up to try something that maybe I haven't tried before. Maybe, I know they say if it's not broke, don't fix it. However, I'm not a professional. I have not done this in so long. If you're new here, hi, I'm Marlakris. I am a DIY nail, person. I'm not trained. I have no licenses in anything. That noise, if you hear it in the background, is a trout. I bought my cats these fish that like flop and they have zero interest in them. Once in a while, one will kick it and that's it. Stupid fish. Anyway, wow, my ADHD is on point today. Yeah, let me know if you do something different. Let me know what works for you. I finished up with my Candi Skin Care Cuticle Oil, true to form, as per usual. This is, again, an optional step. I like to remove the oil from my nail plate. It just, honestly, it's for photo quality. When I take pictures of my nails for you guys and there's oil on the nail, it just doesn't look as good. So I take the oil off before I photograph so my nails look good. I hope you found this somewhat helpful. Definitely come back on Monday. I have a non-filing related video for you guys that I hope you'll enjoy. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next one. Love you, bye.